Impeachment is looking almost certain as he clings on to office.
He's been Zimbabwe's leader for the past 37 years and appears to have absolutely no intention of stopping. Our chief correspondent, Richard Gaisford, is in Harare. Richard, what's the reaction, Richard, on the streets of Harare? Mugabe is a very divisive figure, but there are many people in Zimbabwe who have believed he was a force for good. Others think he's the devil incarnate. What's the mood you're getting?
Well, people are waking up to the news this morning that he's not going. In fact, you can see them behind me here, Piers, coming to read the headlines on the newspapers about it. One of them being arrogant Mugabe disregards ZANU-PF. I've heard a number of people say that stubborn man this morning. To be fair, having had him in charge for 37 years, not everyone's that surprised, but a lot of people feeling that he will go, especially after the scenes we saw at the weekend. Now, it was quite incredible here on the streets of Harare and, of course, also elsewhere in the country, in Bulawayo and other towns and cities, to see this number of people out protesting against Mugabe and also welcoming in a new chapter. That chapter, of course, hadn't yet started. And yesterday we saw people coming together in prayer from all sorts of different parts of society, different colours, different races, holding hands, praying together in the city because they want to show that Zimbabwe can be unified in a post-Mugabe era. It's really quite a strange place to be at the moment, Piers and Susanna. Ordinarily, journalists like myself aren't allowed into the country, and we're certainly not allowed to operate on the street like this. We're being left alone at the moment, and people understand that. They really get that perhaps there's a new freedom coming, and hence they're constantly asking for selfies in the streets, wanting to show that this is a different Zimbabwe and show that to their friends, that there are people wandering around that they wouldn't necessarily have seen before.
Richard, I just want to ask, the guy who led the coup is known as the crocodile,
yeah,
right? I mean, you know, and at the moment people are celebrating and this all seems very peaceful, but he's known as quite a character with a pretty harsh reputation. Is there going to be a democratic process where there is an election that is, you know, fairly fought and the opposition to ZANU-PF have a good chance, you know, as well as the ruling party? Or is this actually about to take a different turn, do you think?
Well, there are elections slated for next year, the middle of next year, and people had thought that Robert Mugabe was going to try and hold on until then. People genuinely feel that because they've first time for so many years, for decades, have been able to show their opinions and actually voice their thoughts on this, that they will get a chance to have a fair and free election. People hoping for some sort of transitional government in the run-up to that. That may not happen. ZANU-PF may just install the man Managua that they want to go in. But at the moment, so much pressure from the masses on the streets that it would be hard to think that those people could just start again and with corruption and cronyism and all of the problems that we've seen over the last few decades.
Yeah.